Hi, this is Andy of Andy's Personal Development, and we are currently live in the breakout room. So, welcome and welcome, and we love being here for you with quality and value to inspire and to transform. Remember, we are on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and iTunes. Today, as usual, we have a special guest to share with you for your development and growth and to live your better informed life. So, grab a cup, pull up a seat, and stay tuned for the introduction. Right here, now, live in the breakout room. Hi, guys, this is Andy from Andy's Personal Development, and you are live and alive in the breakout room. We have a very special and amazing guest with us this afternoon who is going to share with us some very wonderful, inspiring, and awesome thoughts with regards to life, its ups and downs, and the many solutions that we can get from the things that she would inspire us to do to help us transform and live a better life. So, without further ado, let us just introduce our guest to you at this time. Well, you know it by now. Our special guest is Kuintrice Crawford, and we're going to bring her on stream right now. Kuintrice, how are you? Welcome.
I'm fine. How are you today? How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. But you know, right now, all the attention, all the spotlight is on you, my dear. So, welcome to the show and thank you for taking the time to be with us. We hope
Yes,
that you're gonna enjoy the time you spend with us as much as we will enjoy it. Okay?
yes, absolutely.
Amen. Good. Sounds good. So, you were supposed to be on this show a while ago, but unforeseen circumstances took place and you could not attend. You mind sharing with our audience what happened on that fateful day?
Okay. Well, I was sitting at a stoplight and someone behind me, well, all of a sudden behind me, there's a big bang, and I realized that I've been in a car accident. Just sitting still, just sitting still. My granddaughter was in the back seat, so I was afraid to turn around and look because she was quiet. She didn't say a word. And so I started thinking right there, and I said, Lord, um, I know this can't be, like anything horrible. I know you got me. I'm just going to turn around. And it's just when I was about to turn around, the baby says, Granny, I'm okay. So she was okay back there. The car was damaged, had a lot of damage. The young man was talking, I think he was texting or something like that and driving at the same time.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
So for the most part, when you become older, because I just turned 50, and the things that you could take when you were younger, just not that easy anymore.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we were shaken up, sore, those types of things. But thank goodness it could have been the other way. And I always thought that from the beginning. It could have been way worse than what it was. So God was with us. Yeah,
Sounds
you're
good.
blessed. Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad it turned out that way, and I'm sure many people who support you, love you, and look out for your weekly presentations that day are glad it turned out that way as well. You mentioned that you had just turned 50.
Yes.
That's golden. How do you feel about that, Quintrice? I mean, looking over the past 50 years of your life, are you satisfied? Are you fulfilled with what you have accomplished thus far, being 50 at this time?
Um, well, I always feel like I could do better, but I am very proud of myself and the accomplishments that I've accomplished thus far. I have a lot of things that I'm still working on in the background, but turning 50 was absolutely amazing. It sounded old to me until I became 50, and then it no longer sounded old.
Right.
Um, it made me think about anything that I may have put on the back burner to do to make sure that I get those things done, or it gave me that motivation to get them done. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, it says that you are a mother, a poet, author, singer, educator, talk show host. How do you balance all these commitments, my dear? How do you do it? How do you separate yourself and make sure you commit to each one individually as they are supposed to? How do you do it?
I focus on one thing at a time. Um, I decide to put a certain time like into the book. So I said,
Uh huh.
okay, I'm writing a book.
Uh huh.
Actually, I have two books. The
Great.
first book is called Dysfunctional Family, and it's a true story. It was based on a true story,
All
but
right.
it tells a whole lot of things that, whole lot of short stories put together in one big story.
Yeah.
So I try to write at least two chapters a night so
Uh
that
huh.
that's the last thing that I do before bed.
Yeah.
The mother part, I'm always a mother, even right now,
Sounds
and the
great.
grandmother of 16.
Wow.
Actually, yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah, I'm always doing something with that. And then with a poet, the poetry part is something that's naturally a part of me. So when I'm inspired by something, I know it's poetry. I record it right away. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where the balance. I just, most successful people, they don't multitask.
Mm-hmm.
They focus on one thing at a time.
All
And so
right.
that's what I do as well. I just focus on one thing at a time.
Sounds good. It seems to me as though you're the kind of spontaneous kind of individual that loves to take advantage of a situation as it arises, especially if it's something that's working for you and it's good.
Hmm.
Am I correct in describing a character trait there, and how has this been helpful to you in your career thus far?
It's been extremely helpful because I'm spontaneous and because I'm open to all types of suggestions.
Yeah.
So if something comes up and it's something, I don't think that anything is too big or too small for me to do.
Okay. Okay.
So in that aspect, it's helped me a whole lot because I'm versatile. I can interview a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to I've I've interviewed a drag queen before,
Right. Right.
like
Right.
because I think that we're all God's creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter where you're from or whatever walk of life it is, there is something special within that situation, and you have to find that in a person or in
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
situation. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I like to capitalize off of people that I
Mm-hmm.
encounter, situations. I like to
Yeah.
capitalize off of them because you have to learn something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. That sounds good. I get
Yeah.
the feeling that you're talking about something that takes you back to probably your childhood days when you're growing up in your family and it was like a family foundation trait. What makes you so unique, taking that into consideration and the fact that you are willing to share so much good things with people? What makes your story, your account as Quintrice so unique?
Um, that is a good question. I've always been unique from a child, though, honestly.
Uh huh.
I can sing.
Right.
And I didn't discover. Well, I didn't know I could sing. Now, this was something that came out like at church one night.
Okay.
A lady that was at church discovered that I could sing because I think I was probably five, singing louder than the entire choir. So everybody be quiet. Shh, this little girl singing. So I've
Uh-huh.
always been unique. And it's something about me. Like I've never broken a bone. They say those
Mm-hmm.
are unique people. I've never had a
Yeah.
broken bone before. But just my creativity, I can do so many things. And it only takes me to see it one time and I
Right.
can do it.
Right.
So I think it's just the blessings of the Lord that's over my life that's been there. And I know it took me to get this to this age to figure out what my purpose was though.
Mm-hmm.
And my purpose was to embrace people, to educate people, and let them know that everything we encounter is not always a bad thing, even if we think
Right.
it's a bad thing. It
Right.
could be simply transition.
That's right. That's right. I get the impression that you're looking at perspective and you're saying to people, hey, it's not so much what you're seeing, but it's what you can perceive out of what you see in terms of your attitude, how you look at things. Tell me, how did you transition from the private Quintrice into the public figure that you are today? And was it tough? Was it something that you had to do a makeover, or was it just a natural flow from one stage to the next?
It was natural. It was really natural because I'm a people person.
Right?
So I've always been able to deal with people or be around people. It wasn't a hard thing for me to do.
Yeah.
Like you have an introvert and you have an extrovert.
Right.
I had a little bit of both of them, but I was more, I could deal with people anyway. So it wasn't hard for me to do. I was
Yeah.
never shy. As a young child, I used to sing all the time. Like when they figured out I could sing, I mean, I'm not saying I could just sing. I mean, I could sing. So I would open for like the Jackson Southern Vanessa Bell Armstrong. Opened for her, hosted. I was like 8 or 9 years old, opening up,
Wow.
being an opening act for people.
Right.
So it definitely wasn't hard to do.
Okay.
That was the easy part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it that you just love being among people and sharing good stuff with them. And
Yes.
so it takes me to our next question. Truly educating another. How did you arrive at that and when did it begin for you?
Okay. So, um, when the pandemic came,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed one thing that a lot of people wasn't educating themselves on what was going on. Everything was a panic.
Okay.
People were washing their hands until their skin became scaly. People weren't reading, they weren't researching. So my very first show actually was about the coronavirus vaccine. Yay
Okay.
or nay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I felt like it was my responsibility to educate
Mm-hmm.
on the vaccine, research, find out
Mm-hmm.
why are so many people against getting something that's going to help them.
Right.
That's how it all started. And so
Okay.
I felt like I need to truly educate someone because
Uh-huh.
some people only look at Facebook. They don't pick up a book.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people
yeah.
only go to Instagram.
Yeah, that's right. That's
They're
right.
not reading, and they definitely not reading, not watching the news.
Okay. Okay.
So that was my way of educating, and that's
Huh.
how I was born.
Oh, okay, great. So was it something that from your background and home that would have inspired you? Did your parents take time to have you read books and look at the news and get information on what's happening? Or was it just that simple impact of the pandemic? Because it sounds so compact and so endearing. And I mean, all the information that has been put out there, you feel like you're filling a gap of some sort?
Hmm. Yes, and honestly, my parents. My parents were, I lived in a home where I'm a single child to
Right.
a single mom,
Yeah.
and my mother was very, very busy all the time.
Oh,
All
okay.
the time. She
Okay.
worked a lot. She was an excellent mother. I was sort of born like with a silver spoon, really. So I
Yes, yes.
didn't so I didn't have a lot of things like, oh, we don't have this and we don't have that. I was looking at things we did have and looking, and researching and looking into different things, and I used my time wisely even as a child.
Right,
I
right.
learned a lot of things
Okay.
from that.
Right.
Not to mention, being that I was an only child, I was exposed to some very prominent people as well.
Okay. Okay.
So, like my babysitter was the pastor of the church, and
Wow.
his wife she was on Congress, so she was like a Congress lady. So I
Mm-hmm.
learned so many different things, from them.
Yes, yes. All right. Sounds good. Um, what is the body calvitation? I looked at that, and I'm thinking that wow, this is something so new, and it looks
Mhm.
exciting. You excited about it? What is
And
it all about?
okay, so I'm glad you asked me this. I've never been a heavy person,
Okay.
ever. I've
Okay.
always been a small person.
Mm-hmm.
But the older you get as a woman, I don't know if maybe it happens to men too,
Uh huh.
but I can speak for women because I am a woman.
I
But
hear you.
me, I started to retain weight way more than I did as a young person. And
Okay.
it was going in all of the wrong areas. That was to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to go surgery. I really didn't want to do like a surgery or anything like that. I'm like, nah, I don't know about that. And then in the field in which I do, I really don't have time to work out either like that. I may
Yeah.
want to, but I just don't have the time to work out because I'm
All
studying,
right.
researching, and writing. That's one of the things that fall short in.
Okay.
So body cavitations is lasers.
Mm-hmm.
They take these lasers and they put them on your concentrated areas of your body where you feel like you have entirely too much fat,
Uh huh.
and they burn the fat and tighten your skin.
Okay.
And you can hear it, you don't feel it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not invasive at all.
Right,
And
right.
then after which it's also the downtime is probably 2 days. You feel a little sore, like you had a little fight. But outside of that, it's great. It
Yeah.
is. I
Yeah.
feel better. I
Okay.
feel better. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So,
Yeah.
is this something that you're gonna promote going into the future, or reach out to other persons who you know may be struggling with the same thing that you were
Yes.
confronted with, based on your experience? You would continue to promote it, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hmm.
So, tell me something. You just took up your cup there and you took a sip. Are you a real connoisseur of tea, man? I mean,
I
you
am.
have teas from all over the place, India, Africa, you name it. Tell me something about that. Do you study? Do you have a collection of teas? What is it about teas and you, Quintrice? Tell us.
Okay. So I've always loved tea.
Right,
Always.
right.
And I have an aunt. Her best friend lives
Mm-hmm.
in Trinidad. This is
Right.
where it all started. And
Okay.
every time she came from Trinidad to visit us, she
Mm-hmm.
brought tea.
There you go.
She did. She brought tea. And the chai tea is what got it all started.
Oh
I
yeah, one of
couldn't
my
believe.
favorite. That's one of my
Yes,
favorite.
I couldn't believe that this tea was this good. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is good. This is not just Lipton, okay? And then I started researching. And
Yeah.
what I found is that teas are actually healers
Okay.
for certain things.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can drink tea for sleep if you're having a problem with sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
There's the tea for that, chamomile.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so many different ones. They
Mm-hmm.
even have them for like low libido. I mean, there's all kinds of tea. So yeah, I got a coffee cup, but I'll tell you, it's pomegranate tea in here.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. I love tea myself. My favorite is
Yeah.
Earl Grey, and I
Yes.
also like the green tea that comes from China.
Yes.
Y- So, Quintrice, Is there a meaning to your name? It's a very unusual name. I'd love to hear the background behind your name.
So this is funny. My mother named. She thought I was going to be a boy,
Wow.
and so she was going to name me Quentin.
Hmm.
But anyway, she had a girl, of course, me,
Mm-hmm.
and she named me Kuintrice.
Oh.
Now, when I went to elementary school, my favorite teacher was named Mrs. Kajowski.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this thing where in the morning I would be so bubbly. But by the time the end of school, I was ready to go home. I wasn't as bubbly. I just was a mess by the time it was in the school.
Okay.
And the teacher looked up the name. She says it's an Indian name and
Uh-huh.
it means morning sunshine, evening thunder.
That's interesting. Morning sunshine, evening thunder. Wow.
That's what she said.
Fantastic.
So, I mean, it definitely described me as a child coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe that is. I never did the research on it, but that's exactly what she says it means.
Okay. Great. Tell me something. What is turkey chili, my lady? What is that all about?
Turkey chili is
Yeah.
delicious.
I saw the
Turkey,
video.
yes, turkey chili good. Did you see I've been dabbling off into my cooking videos?
Yeah,
I am
exactly.
a cook. I am a
Mm-hmm.
cook. I've been cooking forever. I had 6 children of my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I cooked all the time.
Okay.
And I still cook. I still cook. So I'm like, you know what? I want to teach people that you can eat hearty and
Okay.
still be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey is a healthier, cleaner meat to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't eat ground beef. And so I went and bought ground turkey and I decided, you know what? I'm going to make chili with this turkey.
Okay.
And it was so delicious. Like it's really, really good. And it's also good for you. I add things like garbanzo beans
Mm-hmm.
in it, which also takes the place of like a meat. Um,
Right. Right.
yeah,
Right.
so just trying to eat better. That's all. That came in with the 52
Yeah.
with
We all
turkey.
need to do that. We all need to
Yes,
do that.
yes.
So tell me, if you had to look back over your life, what would be the most inspiring part of your life? What would stand out for you? Some people call it the aha moment. Some people call it the epiphany. What would it be for you?
When I realized I was a poet, when
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I could write poetry,
Mm-hmm.
that was like the biggest thing ever. I mean, I knew I could sing,
All
but
right.
I didn't know that I could write poetry.
Okay. Okay.
That was definitely my aha moment. Like, hey, I'm all right. That sounds good. Let me write that down.
All right. So that sounds good. I also love writing poetry. I was involved in a lot of stuff in school, in the arts and stuff, and yeah, I also love appearing before people and performing. But for you personally, if it's one moment in your life that you can recall that you did something so special that it impacted upon somebody's life, and they would have reached out to you and say, Quintrice, I'm so glad that I know you. I'm so glad that I've met you. You did this thing for me. Do you have any of those moments that you can recall for yourself?
Yes, I used to work in healthcare
Right.
for many, many years,
Uh huh.
and it was very wonderful to do.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a special person to care for someone's loved one on a
Right.
consistent basis.
Yeah.
So there was a young lady who her name was Deborah. I'll never forget her. She was a
Okay.
patient of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and she was looking for her son.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me she didn't know, where he was. She kind of gave him up as a youngster. And
Okay.
so I have a friend that worked downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is actually where I'm from.
Right.
And she worked in the child and family division downtown. And I mentioned it to her one day, and she asked me, this service actually cost to do this. But I told her I wanted her to find her son so bad because it was nearing the end of her life that I did know.
Okay.
And she
Okay.
really, really wanted to see her son.
Mm-hmm.
So it took us probably about 6 months to locate him.
Yeah.
We were able to locate him. I was able to get him to the nursing home
Wow.
probably 2 months before she passed. She had
Mm-hmm.
2 months with her son. And so at when she passed away, her son, oh my goodness, I cried so hard.
My,
The
my,
son
my.
called, yeah, the son called me and he told me that, he had also been looking for his mother.
Right.
He wanted to meet her. He knew, that his adoptive parents, they could tell him nothing about his mom and stuff like that. And he was so grateful that he got to at least have closure to
Mm-hmm.
where he came from.
Yes.
So yeah, and this was a blessing for me, and I'll never forget those people. In all of my life, I'll never forget them.
Fantastic. That is so heartwarming.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking if we could just help one person per time every day by the things that we do in this life, how much better this world would be to live in.
Yes.
So much
Yeah.
better.
It would.
So tell me, do you have a favorite poem that you would probably reminisce on from time to time?
My favorite poem is my first poem.
Uh huh.
And the poem is called "It's Up to You." It was about children and
Uh
things
huh.
that. Yeah, it's called "It's Up to You." So that's my favorite poem. Yes.
Okay, great. And what would be your favorite song? I know you love to sing.
Oh my goodness! Are you kidding? My favorite song. I love them all. No,
Okay, okay, okay. Sounds good.
my my favorite gospel song. Though my
Mm-hmm.
favorite gospel singer, her
Mm-hmm.
name is Vanessa Bell Armstrong, and she sings a song called "Peace Be Still."
Okay,
So that would be my favorite song.
wonderful.
Yes.
Is there any book that you'd recommend for anybody that they should read to get inspiration,
Hmm.
information, stuff like that? Any
Yes.
at all? Mm-hmm.
I would read Gladys Knight, Don't Block the Blessings.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very inspirational book. She tells tales about so many different things. It's about her life, but it's a very inspirational story about being blessed.
Mm-hmm.
It really focuses on how to accept the things that come to you
Okay.
in such a way that you're able to take them and they end up being a blessing.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
book, that's just the gist of what the book is about. But yeah, it's a very inspirational book. I recommend it.
Sounds good. All right, Quintrice. So we're gonna go for a quick break, and I'm just gonna run a personal ad for a moment,
Okay.
and stand by. So we'll be right back. Here we go, people. Okay, we are back in the breakout room live with our special guest, Kuintrice Crawford. Kuintrice, what it is that makes your unique brand so special and so appealing, so wonderfully unique in that it's your why, the thing that gets you up in the morning and makes you do what you do in the interest of and the inspiration that you give to people. What it is that just makes that big difference about your brand.
I think, well, I know it is because of my reasoning.
Ah.
It's where it comes from. I come from a place of peace. You know,
Right.
I might have experienced dysfunction, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not dysfunctional.
Oh, wow.
I
Preach
want
it.
someone, yes, I want someone to know you could come from dysfunction, but you don't have to be dysfunctional.
Right.
You can experience moving from one place, but it doesn't have to be the end all tell all. It
Okay.
has to be, it's what you do
Mm-hmm.
with your time, with your day.
Yes.
So when I come, I'm coming from a place of self experience. You know, I've experienced so much in my life. Being that I was a single mother at the beginning too. I got married, but I was still single,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So
Okay.
at the end of the day, being a mother is and learning while being a mother because I
Mm-hmm.
became a mother at the age of 16.
Wow.
Totally different than, because in a perfect world, some people would be like, oh, well, no, you're supposed to meet someone, and then when you meet them, then you guys get together, you get married, and then you decide to start a family.
Mm-hmm.
Might not be the cards that the person is dealt. That
Yes.
might not be what happened for them. So then what do you do?
Yep.
What do you do at
Yes.
that particular time? You come up with a plan because to every problem, there is a solution.
Amen.
There's a solution. And it doesn't make us any less of a person.
Mm-hmm.
It actually makes you, I mean, because God uses his wounded vessels now. I mean, you know what I mean? Because they're able to tell
Mm-hmm.
their story. And
That's
if
right.
you're telling your story, not in a gossiping way, you could do that. But if you're telling your story in a nurturing way, if I'm going to nurture someone and share with them, I know I'm not the only person that was a single mother. That's impossible
That's
to
right.
think that.
That's
Someone
right.
else was too.
Yes.
But they
Yes.
may not have had someone to
Mm-hmm.
help them along the way to say, girl, you can do this. No, cut the lights on. Not cut, don't be
Yes.
dark. Cut the
Yes.
light
Yes.
on.
Yes.
You got to have that. And so it's kind of like, how if a boxer is in the ring and he goes in and he starts to fight and he's fighting and he's fighting and he's fighting. Then he go in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody in that corner, a team of people. They're
Yeah.
telling him, Now I've been watching this from the outside. Now you need to punch to the right, one to the left, and give him an uppercut.
Right. Yeah.
You need that in life.
Right. Right.
Someone
Yes.
to be able to be encouraging to you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's what gets me going each
Right.
day
Right.
in my regular everyday life. And being a mother, I have to be a mother, a friend, a counselor, a confidant, all of
Yes.
those things. And it's the same
Wonderful.
that when I encounter someone. So that's
Yes.
my fuel, that's my
That's
gas,
right.
is to
That's
know
right.
that I can be those eyes for the people that's blind, that who feel who got a sheet over their eyes. The
Mm-hmm.
veil been lifted a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you want to do at
Yes.
any given moment,
Mm-hmm.
no matter if you have children
Yeah.
or no matter if you're struggling with this relationship, or it may be a job, it could be anything. We more than conquerors. We could do
I
it.
hear you. I hear you. I feel you as well, sister. Sounds good. Sounds really encouraging. Tell me something. If you had to tell anyone about what you would have learned and what you would have experienced in terms of your personal development through the pandemic, what would it be that would stand out for you? Any particular lesson or level of capacity that you would have earned for yourself during this pandemic time, what would you say to people in terms of advice or a lesson?
I would tell people, as far as the pandemic is concerned, I would tell people to continue to protect yourself.
Right.
Um, I would tell people that the word pandemic
Mm-hmm.
was designed for people to panic. I
Oh,
would tell
okay.
them not to panic,
Right.
not to panic. I mean, because you're supposed to be washing your hands in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you're supposed to be cleaning up your house, anyway.
Yeah.
So I believe that the pandemic came to teach us so many things. Instead of breaking down, giving into it, we must continue to fight.
Mm-hmm.
We must protect our families. We must
Mm-hmm.
protect ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, to be prayerful. Because if you pray without cease, then you're praying. With prayer comes strength. With strength comes power. With power comes wisdom, faith.
Yes. Yes.
All of those things happen. It's a chain reaction. That's the chain gang. Power, faith, wisdom, knowledge. Those things come. So that would be my advice for anyone that's leery about the things that are going on around us,
Mm-hmm.
and how to cope with them. It's
Okay.
just to keep faith,
Right.
just to keep faith and keep
Wonderful.
protecting yourself.
Wonderful. What would you describe as your superpower? Quintrice's superpower, the thing that defines you the most.
My superpower. I
Yeah.
feel like a superhero.
Go on. You go on.
I feel like a superhero. But I would just have to say that my superpower is my knowledge of Christ and who
Mm-hmm.
he is. That's my superpower.
Okay.
It's what keeps me going.
Okay.
My knowledge of knowing that I do have someone to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Because in a sense, when you're always there for other people,
Yeah.
then you got to go to somebody, right?
That's right.
My superpower. That's it.
All right. Great. So I understand that's the spiritual connection, and that's
Hmm.
wonderful.
Hmm.
But what about the physical connection? Is there one or two persons that you would consider as a mentor, someone who
Oh
would have
yeah.
had that kind of impact on your life? Who would that person or persons be, and what is it like for you to have that kind of relationship?
Okay. So my sister, her
Mm-hmm.
name is Jerry.
Right.
She is my go-to, talk to, be with. I can tell her anything.
All
We
right.
talk about anything. I can let my hair down.
Okay.
But she's one of my biggest supporters,
Mm-hmm.
with my own show, things of that nature. Also, my biggest power source is my
Mm-hmm.
husband.
Ah, okay, good.
Yeah, my husband, that's my huge power source. My husband is a behind the scenes type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't like to be in front of the camera. I've tried to get him to cook with me. I've tried to get him. He just doesn't do it. But as
Okay.
far as being my biggest critic, and that's he's a huge source
Mm-hmm.
of my power.
Good. Good.
Yeah,
Sounds wonderful.
yeah.
So, do you plan to do any writing in the future? Any more publications to come out from Quintrice?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
My book is a big one. I'm still working on this. I'm nearing the end of it. So I'd give myself probably about 3 months to be done with that.
Okay.
Um, my poetry book is nearing its end too. I can cap it off at any time, but I wanted to do at least about five more pieces, which takes probably 2 days at the rate that I'm writing.
Okay.
So that will be a publication of mine, the both books, and the book is called In the First Degree.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So that'll come out. So yeah, those are the two things that I definitely will be working on here.
Sounds interesting. Sounds very interesting. Looking forward to that.
Yes, me too.
So tell me something. If there's anything at all that you could have changed about your life, if you had the opportunity to go back and turn things around, would there be one thing that you would identify that you would have changed about your life?
Oh yeah, I would have written my book a lot earlier. I would have written my
Understood.
book a lot earlier.
Understood. Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's just so many different things I would have done, but that's a big
Mhm.
one. I would
Yeah.
have because I could have been on like book number 3 or 4. You really don't realize like, oh, I've wasted a lot of time here. I should have been
Yeah.
done with this. So yeah, my book for sure.
Okay.
I would have written
Uh,
it a lot earlier.
Sounds interesting. And if there's anything, Quintus, that you could have changed in the world, that you're not happy about, we call it our pet peeve. That thing that really rubs you the wrong way sometimes.
Mhm.
But it's tough. But you wish you could do something about it and change it. What would that be?
It's racism.
Ah, wow.
Racism
Why?
is a,
Why?
is a big thing for me
Mm. Mm-hmm.
because I was when I was born, or how my mother
Mm-hmm.
had me in a place,
Yeah.
I had no idea that racism existed.
Wow.
I thought that I was as equal as the lady from the other nationality that lived next door to me.
Uh
My
huh.
best friend is a
Right.
white lady.
Okay.
Honestly, I just love people. So I had the blinders on in
Right.
front of me. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't until I became an adult and kind of got out there on my own that I realized that you got to be kidding me. This is serious. It's
Yes.
really a pet peeve of mine, and I feel like it's just clearly
Yeah.
uneducation of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, People that's been misled, things that happen. And I didn't know how thick it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really a systemic problem. It is.
Right. Right. Right.
Just looking from from the White House on down,
Mm-hmm.
when I see different things, like how we had over here a insurrection that happened to our Capitol building.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're still talking about this right
Mm-hmm.
now, which
Yeah.
to me is unbelievable.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
so racism is one of the big things that I really, really wish. And I try on my show, I try really not to even talk about it because I feel so strongly about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm usually have those types of conversations, they're usually in person
Yeah.
when I'm just talking to people. But it's a terrible problem that we have that's going on these days. And I just wish it was something
Mm-hmm.
that we could do, that I could do, that would
Yeah.
change, this
It's a
problem.
monster, right? It's a
It
monster.
is. It's a monster.
Yeah. So many people have expressed, similar sentiments, and they feel like it's such a tough thing to deal with. People don't
Hmm.
want to have the conversation, but we need to
Hmm.
deal with it. It's right in front of us
Yes.
every single day.
Hmm.
But Quintus, tell me, uh, as far as tea is concerned, that particular show that you have made so wonderfully available,
Hmm.
what do you see in the future for tea going forward? Is there going to be new developments? Are there going to be new dimensions to it? What are the plans for tea going forward?
Okay. So there is.
Right.
There's new dimensions that's going. I plan to go into a studio where I'll see people that will come to the studio that will physically be there. So that's one change.
Right.
Another is the realty is going to take it to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I've already actually did some recordings where I went to different places. I
Yeah.
want people to know that there's a lot of things out there, different foods you can eat, different places that you can go, things
Right.
of that
Right.
nature. So realty is going to definitely take it to the streets.
Okay.
And so you'll notice that happening as well.
Sounds good. We're gonna look forward to that.
Yes.
So we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna give Quintrice the opportunity to let you know how you can reach her, how you can make contact with her if you need to contact her for advice, information, inspiration, all that stuff. And then she's going to have a last word. So stand by now while we do a quick Eric M. Twigs, your procrastination prevention partner. That is the man of the moment, the man of the hour. Eric will share the story of the one experience in his life that inspired him to focus on overcoming procrastination. He will also share his journey towards finding his life's calling and gaining clarity of purpose. The author of The Discipline of Now, 12 Practical Principles to Overcome Procrastination. And so, Eric is going to be our guest on Friday, December 3rd at 5 p.m. Eastern, live right here in the Breakout Room. That time is for those who are in North America and the Canada area. It's going to be 5 p.m. AST for us in the Caribbean and in Latin America. But for now, our focus is back to the lady of the moment, Kuintrice Crawford. What do you say to those who would love to be in touch with you, who would love to follow your show, maybe subscribe to your show and stuff, all the platforms that you're on, how they can make contact with you?
Yes. So if you're looking for the Real Tea, you can definitely log in. The Real Tea has a Facebook page. It's the Real TEA. There also, I also have TikTok.
Right.
And that's a new platform. Nonetheless, if you want to listen to the podcast and you don't want to see us, you don't have to. You can find us on FM, Radio FM, Republic Radio. You can find it on Anchor FM.
Right.
Also, you can find it on Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Okay, sounds good. And any last parting words of inspiration, encouragement that you love to say to our listeners at this time?
Well, my word of inspiration to you guys today is just, if you're out there and you're going through something, just know that you can make it. You can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. And to every problem, there's a solution. And never, ever, ever be afraid to help someone. The only time you should be looking down on somebody is if you're looking down to pick them up.
Wow.
So that's my word of inspiration today.
That's powerful. That's powerful. I love it. Kuintrice, you have been such a wonderful and inspiring guest. It's a wonderful pleasure to have you, and we look forward to being in contact with you in the future. And we have a thumbs up from someone who was in the audience a while ago, but no questions, no comments. So we're going to let you off the hook. So we want to say thank you. God bless. Special greetings to your husband and the rest of your family. Take care of yourselves and keep sweet. And we look forward to being in touch with you in the future. So stand by. There you have it, folks. Kuintrice Crawford live in the Breakout Room here on Andy's Personal Development. And we thank you so much for joining us in this program. We look forward for your continued support and your continued commitment as we continue to inspire you to make the necessary changes in your life and the transformation that can give you a better hope and a better hope for tomorrow. Something to get up in the morning for, something to look forward to. Stay sweet, stay safe, protect yourselves, protect your family, protect your loved ones. God bless. We love you. Until next time. Bye for now.